Terror, pain, torture, death, execution, suicide, the works. You'd be murdered for the coat off your back when you came in this place. People in those days that were actually incarcerated here were frightened of ghosts.
People have sighted things, they've smelt things, they've felt things to the point they've become overcome with emotion.
Did you just hear that?
That was just moving.
Oh, I'm getting a figure here, just down the end here by the axe. I'm just hearing voices out here.
Voices as well.
All I know, this place is haunted. There's no doubt about that.
Hey Crypt Keepers, thank you so much for tuning into AmysCrypt tonight. Jared and I are investigating the Derby Gaol. This place is said to be incredibly haunted, dates back to the 1700s, and was used as somewhat as a dungeon with a lot of connections to execution. So stay tuned. Most wouldn't even know this place existed. Tucked away in the depths of an unsuspecting building sits the remains of the old Derby Gaol in Friargate. A place of imprisonment dating back to 1756. Many have perished in these underground cells and the building's surroundings, whether that be from rampant disease, murder, suicide, or even the hangman's noose. Since many executions were conducted here under England's infamous Bloody Code, naming more than 200 offences punishable by death, which ranged from murder to the theft of sheep. But what's more, beheadings were performed at the jail, including those of the Pentridge martyrs, which saw 3 men hanged and then beheaded for organising an armed uprising.
This is Derbyshire's county jail. We had 3. Now the county jail was if you committed a crime in Derbyshire, you ended up at the county jail, and then sentence was meted out on you. But the big thing is that this is a jail, not a prison, and there's a big difference, because in those days, from 1756 and much earlier, punishment was not imprisonment. You were kept here. It was a holding jail until the trial. 4 trials a year, spring, summer, autumn and winter. So if you missed the summer assizes, they kept you here until the autumn assizes. Then punishment was meted out on you if you were found guilty. Being whipped at the cart's tail till your back be bloody, branded with a red hot branding iron with a letter T for thief, transportation of course, originally to America and the Spice Islands and then Australia and Tasmania, and then of course from 1723, 222 hanging offences in Great Britain. The crime rate had gone through the roof because of industrialisation, people moving into the towns, squalid conditions, poor wages, and most of the crimes were committed against the landowners of this country, and they decided the best way of getting rid of the criminals was to hang them. Well, 56 people hanged here from Derby Gaol, and numerous, not executions, but suicides and murders took place here as well. It was a place of terror, pain, torture, death, execution, suicide, the works. You'd be murdered for the coat off your back when you came in this place. And when it opened in 1756, no segregation at all. Everyone lumped together, be they old or young, male or female, young or old, tried or untried, sane or insane, put in the same cells. It doesn't bear thinking about what went on in this place, to be honest with you. No wonder it's haunted.
The darkness of the history linked to this building is sure to have left some energy behind, and many to visit the old Derby Gaol have reported to have paranormal experiences within her walls, even to the point where they could not stay within the building, instead fleeing in fear.
There isn't a part of the building that doesn't have ghost stories. We have footsteps. Above us we have footsteps in here, doors open and close on their own, and I'm not talking once, I'm talking often. We get smells of roses, well flowers I should say, in the cell that's to my left there. There's always somebody reports something happened, something touched them, the hair was touched. A young lady spent the night here alone about 3 months ago. She swears that door opened on its own, and she actually went out of the building for a little time. It bothered her because obviously she as she said to me, that the reason that door opened, she said, was because something came in, and she meant that means I'm in it. But then again, it's the same old story. She's supposed to be a ghost hunter, so surely welcome something coming in. But no, she left the building for a bit.
Having learned so much about this historic location, we were excited to spend some time investigating the old jail, and it wouldn't take long before we had our own strange experiences within the old Derby Gaol. Guys, we're about to enter the Derby Jail. This place is said to be incredibly haunted. I'm excited, a little bit nervous. We haven't been here long and already things have kind of kicked off. We've had some stuff that's really weird and peculiar happen. I can't for sure say paranormal, but I'll tell you about it as we go. But before we head in, I just want to say the outside of this building is said to be haunted as well. Just behind Jared, we have a mock-up of some gallows. Hangings were something that was common here. A lot of people were executed here. A lot of people were hanged. A lot of people were even beheaded here. 50 odd hangings happened just out front of this jail. Derby Jail, 1756.
Whoa.
Just lock us in. No turning back now.
Look at this. Many of the doors are original. I don't know about this one, but... Any spirits here? Can we come in? We're coming in anyway. Oh, listen to that.
Every door has a solid squeak, I'm telling you. Just draw it out, Jared, Jesus. And this is it, guys. This little cell block here is where we're spending the night. This is where we're investigating. People have sighted things, they've smelt things, they've felt things to the point they've become overcome with emotion. And you've got to think that a lot of people passed through here. A lot of people were kept in atrocious conditions here, torturous conditions that led to their death, or they even spent their final moments here in a condemned cell before being taken out the front, hanged, beheaded. Sometimes even after you were hanged, you were dissected, or then you were hung, drawn and quartered, as they did here in England. So this is right where you were seeing something on your camera earlier today,
Yes.
huh?
We were interviewing Richard, our guide, who owns this place, and he was standing right here facing Amy's camera, telling us the history and ghost stories, which you probably would have already seen in the voiceover part of the video. And whilst I was filming him, my camera was mapping a face over his right shoulder, which is weird because the camera has never really done that except for once when it mapped something near Amy at the Ohio State Penitentiary. The face finder on this a few times was not detecting your face, it was detecting something like right here.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Well,
so
this is a prison cell in here.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so a few times. I mean, obviously I won't be able to show you because it's only on the
Yes, of course.
preview.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was showing a square just here, to your left. To your right, sorry.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
Yeah.
an interesting. And then, of course, you've also had problems with the other camera.
Yeah, and your
You had to
camera
change
just-
the camera.
I know.
Yeah, anyway.
Which happens a lot in here.
Yeah.
An awful lot with TV crews and everything else, batteries being drained, cameras stopping, not taking photographs.
And adding to this, which happened probably before Jared even alerted me to this, my camera came up with this weird error that I've never actually seen it do before and stopped filming twice during the interview. And I had to apologise to Richard. I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm really sorry, my camera just cut out and stopped filming. So I'm hoping the footage is still okay. I don't actually know, but it was just really odd for it to do that. Happened twice. And he did tell us electrical fault, especially with filming and camera equipment, super common in here. I'm just going to stop here.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to film this, Joe.
Something?
It just cut out and then it said recovering data.
Nothing.
The computer
Well,
has never,
no,
the computer
I
that has
had
never done that before.
I had somebody on Saturday, Sunday morning, taking pictures for a blog that they're doing, and she said, not one of these pictures have come out. I had to start again.
Sorry.
I'm recording on this
Happens
one.
all the time. No, it happens all the time.
I'm so sorry.
It's not. It's all right, yeah.
It's recorded probably up until I stopped you.
Yes, but the beauty of it is you can put it all down to the
What the
paranormal.
heck?
No, it happens a lot.
I'm so sorry.
Don't apologise. I'm used to it.
Oh my God, why is it doing this?
Do you want it again?
I'm really embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I'm embarrassed.
Apologise. It's not.
Why don't I just swap cameras so it's like, let me get rid of this camera. Should I do that?
Yeah, I'm going to keep this one rolling then, shall I?
Yeah.
Because this one's not doing anything wrong.
Off.
Oh look, Ames, they got a trigger object too, look. These look more rigid than yours.
Oh yeah.
We'll use them tonight. If there's any spirits here, I've got the keys to let you out of your cell. All you got to do is make some noises and talk to us throughout the night and they're yours.
I've also just hit record on GhostTube We actually had a very interesting ghost tube session earlier today. So I filmed that shortly after Richard had left, and I was filming a bonus session for my patrons and YouTube members just at this far end of the hall. So I'll walk towards where we got these words. What was weird about... What was that?
Did you hear like... I thought I heard someone cough or something. What was that?
Oh, is it this camera? There is a night vision CCTV camera there. I don't know if it's that, so... Oh, it might be that. I just seen its light come on. I think we're...
Oh, we're triggering it.
Yeah, okay, debunked. Anyway, earlier today we were hearing all these noises down here, so I quickly whipped my phone out and I started filming, and I'll insert some of the noises that we were hearing. Hey Crypt Keepers. It's stopped now.
Footsteps.
Is that right? Is there people up there?
There is a building above us, but I didn't think it was apartments or anything.
Richard did say they
Lower.
Lower. There's nowhere lower than this. We're in the
They
basement.
are in the bottom. Essentially, it sounded like someone was dragging furniture right above our heads. And I even said that, and then GhostTube said yes. But I also had the words play, and then where are we? Where? It was kind of like someone said, I'm lost. So it was almost as if the spirit didn't know where they were at, what was going on, why they're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they definitely seemed either really confused or maybe a young child, which, you know, I wouldn't rule it out because you could actually be condemned here as a child as well.
There were definitely kids here. Now, Jared also filmed a bit of a GhostTube session because he filmed his first ever TikTok tonight. So if you guys have TikTok, go find him. What are you called?
At GhostTube app. I don't know. I'm learning.
I'll put a link below. But he was filming, you didn't get any GhostTube words, but he got some noises. So let's show him where the noises happened.
Is there anybody in this cell with me right now? I just heard a noise in here. What was that? Can you tell me what that noise was? That's not a real window, guys. I'm underground right now. So that is really weird. So the noises happened in this cell, which is the Debtors cell. That's interesting because this is one of the more paranormally active rooms, apparently. So I was standing just here. I was filming my TikTok and I was like, oh, look at this. This is a cell, yada, yada, yada. This is how many people would be in the cell. I was pointing the camera this way at the time. Then I heard a noise from behind me, turned around. My first thought was street noise, but then I realized this is a fake window. We're underground on this side of the building.
Another cell though that is interesting, guys, is the condemned cell, of course. Condemned cell is just here. And people would have spent their last night here before being taken out the front and hanged.
The condemned cell, which is this one here, we have a ball and chain. When we do ghost walks, we actually take people in there, we scare them, because one of the scarers goes in there dressed in black, hides, and drops the ball and chain on the floor while there's people in there. And he'd gone in there and he positioned the ball and chain in such a position so that he could get hold of it, walks out of the prison cell, closes the door, and then on the CCTV you see the chain of the ball and chain snaking, but the ball doesn't move. The ball doesn't move, the chain does on its own. All I know is this place is haunted, there's no doubt about that.
I've heard that, you know, people have heard straw moving, and that's what, you know, there is a bed in here right now, but I think the deplorable conditions back then, they just had hay or straw on the floor.
What noise? That came from out here this time. Is anybody in here?
Or straw on the floor. Or straw on the floor. And because of overcrowding, sometimes they would keep 6, maybe 10 people in a cell like this, and they used to mix men, women and children, elderly people, you know, criminally insane. They didn't care. They were all thrown in a cell together, and people would literally kill and murder others in these cells. In fact, that happened. And, you know, we were being told by Richard earlier, if someone had a better jacket than you, you're a target. People would beat you up and steal from you.
What's more is, do you notice anything about this cell that's different to the other cells? Have a look around. Do you notice anything different?
There ain't no window.
No windows.
Now, we were also told a story about a pair of brothers who hanged themselves in this cell. So they took their own lives, and that was because they were supposed to be executed the next morning. They did try to revive them so they could publicly hang them, but they had already passed on. People did not want to be publicly executed. I don't blame them.
Yeah, I think they were hanging right here facing each other.
I must say, I think this is my favourite room. Richard did tell us a weird story about a mannequin that they used to have in this room though, so there could be activity in here too.
We have a room through there which I call the murder room, where we tell the story of the murder act and people being publicly dissected. But before it was that, the murder room, for 6 years we had Derby Police Museum in there. CCTV as well, door locked always, because there's a lot of valuable equipment. And in the corner there was a dummy with a modern policeman's uniform, high-vis jacket, truncheon, the works. It had been there for 5 years in the same position. The CCTV is on, it's about 2:30 in the morning, nobody in the building, and all of a sudden the dummy goes forward and back, forward and back for a second time, and then hurls itself to the floor, crashes to the floor, helmet flies across the floor. I mean, again, it's been there for 5 years. It's never moved. Impossible.
This guy is interesting. So we've seen one of these devices or contraptions recently at another venue that we were investigating, right? So what is this thing?
That's a gibbet. So a lot of the times the murderers either dissected or they were put in one of those cages and their body was sort of hung on public display. Before that they would usually dip them in tar, pop them in that. And then sometimes they would let, you know, birds peck their eyes out. And you guys know that's like my worst fear. And to them back then that was really terrible because they wanted to be buried. They wanted to have the proper burial so that their body would stay intact and their soul would stay intact for the afterlife.
So I guess it really drove them nuts that they were denied that, right? Having their body dissected and pulled apart. They were very superstitious, right? They had other superstitions.
Yeah, some of which are present on the doors here, along with graffiti from the 1800s, which we can show you.
All over the doors is graffiti from the prisoners. They scratched their last messages on the doors. On the condemned cell there are gallows that are scratched on the doors, and then the prisoners put their initials inside. That means they were going to be hanged tomorrow morning. But there's also what are called apotropaic marks, which are witch marks, and they were to stop evil spirits. They weren't to stop witches coming in, because although we refer to them as witch marks, they weren't actually frightened of a witch coming into their cell. They were frightened of evil spirits, ghosts. When this building was operational between 1756 and 1840, people in those days that were actually incarcerated here were frightened of ghosts. And these witch marks, which are mainly double V's, which is actually called a Marian mark. It's Mary, mother of Jesus, and it's double V, which means Virgin of Virgins. And they used to scratch these double V's on the doors to stop evil spirits coming through the door into their cells, which means that they were actually in fear and trepidation sitting in their cell of an evil spirit coming in, which is quite incredible when you think that to this day we're now hunting for the same thing. Not that I'm saying that all spirits are evil, because I don't believe they are, because I think most people are very nice, so that means most ghosts are very nice, because they were once you and me.
I just spotted these. I didn't even see them earlier. Are these death masks?
Oh yeah, they are. Cool.
Cool and gross.
Oh, these are those heads that you like too.
Phrenology, I really want one. I almost bought one when I was in Tassie with Mum, but I just didn't have room for it.
Ghost is being very quiet. Earlier on, we were getting words like constantly, and it was like we were talking to somebody.
I know, it's so weird. This moment had some very strange timing. Just as Jared mentions that GhostTube had been quiet, we received a response that is especially relevant to the history of this location and what we had just been discussing. Unfortunately, we did not hear this response in the moment as the volume on our phone was turned off, but the word hurting was selected from the database of GhostTube.
Is this original?
I'm not sure. It looks like where they would dissect people on though, because these, you're just touching it, these images are pretty nasty. You know what though? There is an axe on this wall, and if you touch it, go touch it. Like, don't cut yourself, but it is sharp. It's like a legit axe.
Shit, that is. Wow, that is definitely legit.
And if you guys look up the Pentridge Revolution, they were kept here, then they were hanged, and then they were beheaded with an axe, drawn and quartered. That means that their body was cut up and then displayed in different areas around England. That was the last hung, drawn, quartered thing to occur in England apparently as well in 1817.
So hung, drawn and quartered, was this like some sick 17th century, 16th century game show entertainment, or was it more to prove that the murderers had been taken care of? Was that its purpose?
So I think it was for anyone who did a crime that was so atrocious or that went against the crown, they did it almost to set an example of that criminal. So yeah, if you seen a piece of somebody's body that had been hacked up and then their body was just sent across the country, like that would be a good deterrent, right?
It almost sounds like a TV show. Hung, drawn and quartered. Stay tuned for Hung, drawn and quartered.
This, I think, is one of my favourite pieces. This door here has so much graffiti from 1800s all over it. Like, how cool. And I think one of the most detailed pieces of graffiti I've seen is down here.
Oh yeah, it's like an anchor and a mermaid or a merman.
But we were being taught earlier from Richard about these up here. So these are actually to ward off evil spirits. It's not a W, it is a double V. I guess even back then there was fear of ghosts, and prisoners were, or guards even, were carving this into these doors to keep the ghosts, the evil spirits away.
That just made you jump then.
I think, okay, so these are definitely the CCTV's things switching on and off. Are they sensors? Because like, I wasn't moving or really near that to trigger it, right?
Are you sure it was even the camera?
I don't know.
Is there anything else that could have triggered that? Like,
I mean, we just heard the camera then, right? I don't know. This door though, I like too. Well, not really like, it's kind of sick, but they actually have depictions of the gallows on here. These were people waiting to be hanged here and here.
can you tell us about the drawings on this door? Like who drew them? Or why? All you're gonna do is come to this thing in my hand, you might be able to make it beep or generate a word. Who was speaking with us earlier? Telling us that they were lost. Did you find your way?
For this next part of the video, I'd like for anyone watching at home to join me in an experiment. Now, this might sound a little out there, but after walking into the next room, Jared reports to smell a specific scent. This is something that I had forgotten about as we filmed this video months ago, yet when it came time to edit, I felt as though I could smell this same scent before it was mentioned in the footage I was reviewing. I could literally smell this location, but whether that is linked to my memory or not is hard to say. There are no right or wrong answers, but please take note and leave us a comment if you pick up on anything before we tell you what the room smells like in the next 15 seconds. Now I do like this room because it's like a funky little tavern. It's so cute.
Hey, just quickly, I can smell incense all of a sudden.
I can smell something, but there is a fireplace in here.
Yeah, but I can smell I can distinctively smell incense though, like incense sticks. I don't recall seeing any of them around today. All of these things here look...
candles, but they don't even look scented.
They're candles, I can smell like incense sticks.
Okay, don't be shy. Let us know what you smelt. But I also wanted to point out the ghost tube response we received at this time of statue. This was interesting to me as it was paired with the smell, although I'm not sure it could be relevant. Perhaps it was talking about the scary statue in the hallway, or the event where a mannequin was knocked over in the murder room. What do you think? Anyway, this area, this in fact used to be cells. Some of the walls have unfortunately been knocked out by previous owners of the building, but Richard was telling us a story about a glass sliding off a table in here.
I think one of the best things that happened, funnily enough, only last Halloween, I'd done 3 different ghost events that night, and I'd invited people back here for 12 o'clock Halloween, and all I was doing was sitting in front of the fire in the association room, which is down there, doing ghost stories for Halloween. Everyone got a drink. I'd got a glass of whiskey in my hand, and I put the glass of whiskey down on one of the tables that's in there, and I'm carrying on talking about a highwayman actually that haunts the place. The young lady's filming me, plus we've got CCTV camera on, and my glass of whiskey, suddenly, I put it back down on the table, and it starts, without me noticing, I'm too busy talking, starts to slide towards the edge of the table. Keeps going, and throws itself literally onto the floor, smashing on the floor. Everybody, oh, what, me, oh my God. And first thing I shout is, did you get that on camera? Which, yes, of course they did. Second thing, Richard Felix, tick the normal boxes first, check the table. Is the liquid spilt on the table? As you probably know, a glass of beer can slide across the bar. Absolutely, completely dry. Right, next thing, Richard, get another glass quick, put it on the table, bash the table, bash it, keep bashing it. No. Pick the table, shake it, see if it... No. Absolutely no explanation for it whatsoever. But the thing that really got me was I lost my whiskey.
So if there's any spirits around here tonight, can you make something slide off the table for us? Actually, that's probably bad asking them because this isn't our stuff.
Can just move something else that is not destructive.
Did you just hear that?
Was that you? That was just moving. I swear to God.
What was? Stool?
No, what's that mug thing?
That?
Yeah.
Was it?
Just hang on. Was it?
Was it moving?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just losing my mind. Or maybe it was that. Or does the table move? I don't know. That happened really fast and I've got a bright
I heard it.
light.
I heard it, I didn't see it.
This moment is pretty strange timing. Just as we ask the spirit to move something, we hear a sound and it appears that it might have been the table, chairs, or items atop of the table to our side. In the moment, I felt as though I saw the candle holder move on the table, though this isn't something we can see in the replay unfortunately. And I do immediately begin to question what I had just seen and heard, as I did have our bright filming light shining my face, and we'd just been asking for that exact thing to happen.
Did you just hear that?
Was that you? That was just moving.
Did you just hear that?
Was that you? That was just moving. Attic.
Why is the volume down?
I don't know. This is your phone.
Tap.
Tap. Can you tap on something? This hasn't been speaking to us the whole time and we've just had the volume low.
Yeah, maybe it's been saying stuff.
I feel really bad if it has.
Tap. Can you tap for us?
Maybe that's what it just did do. Was something moving down here? Like, I feel like maybe one of these was rocking. Or that. I thought it was the bottle moving for some reason, but I just think maybe I got overexcited. I don't know. I'll have to check my footage. I don't even know if I was filming it.
So guys, I just want to show you this. This is what the building would have looked like back in the day. The building that would have been sitting on top of us. Pretty cool.
I guess this is another area of interest. So Richard, who owns the Derby Jail, he has been to a lot of haunted places. And I know this because He used to be a historian on Most Haunted, and some of you may actually recognise him from his work there. And this is the only place he has ever actually seen a ghost, what he would describe as a ghost, or like he likes to say, energy. It happened to him right here in this area.
I mean, to be honest with you, this place is as haunted as hell. One of the things I actually say is that when people come and do events, you know, nobody leaves this place disappointed, because there's always something going on. I've seen a ghost in here at 3:20 on a Friday afternoon, broad daylight, alone here, on the phone, talking to somebody from Derby City Council, not thinking ghosts or anything else, when this grey hazy shape of a person glided down the corridor in front of me. And I'm not doing the corner of my eye, I'm doing full face on, grey as grey. I saw it and I sensed it as well. 2 of the sensors came in.
This is an area of significance too, because through this door and through the corridor behind Amy, this would have been where inmates would have taken their last steps, their last walk to the gallows to be hanged.
So just through this exit, just here behind me, that was where you had to go to be hanged. So this was the last walk. This is very cold here as well. I don't know if it's because maybe air is coming from outside or because I'm just talking about this. It is an eerie fort. And I guess if you're a hangman, you would walk through here a lot to collect people, right?
Are you saying maybe that's what Richard saw?
Maybe, because it was coming back in.
I also just want to point out, above the door, the condemned would have walked along this corridor and up the steps to the gallows in front of this building. For those of you that didn't believe us.
Then of course, the door here has even more graffiti. And this is graffiti from people who were hanged. So we have actual convict handprints. We have their names, their initials and dates.
Look at this, 1771. We've got 1760.
There's one here, 1779.
1779, wow. You go to like your local park and, you know, someone's put like, you know, Jane was here, 2022. This is like 300 or more year old graffiti. One more place I want to show you guys, and to be honest, Amy and I haven't even really explored this place today at all. We were told about it, we didn't go in there. And that is the confinement cell. So I'm guessing you would have gone in here if you're misbehaving, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a prison expert. Sorry, jail expert. This technically wasn't a prison, right?
It is a jail.
So behind this door here. Oh yeah, this is like the smallest cell of them all. Yeah, there's not really much room in here, is there?
Why is there a little body?
Oh, I didn't even see that. Alright guys, time to kick things off with an Estes session. But this time, instead of me being the one that has to suffer and go into a cell or lay on the bed or whatever, I'm going to be making Amy do it this time. How do you feel about that, Ames?
I don't care.
She does like this stuff.
I live for this. Here, Jared and I performed an SD session, which saw me enter the condemned cell, wear a blindfold and noise-cancelling headphones, while listening to a spirit box and relaying anything I heard come through, while Jared asked questions that I was unable to hear. While this was happening, we also decided to set up a still Goes to Best Celeste camera in the tavern area, which was formerly prison cells, to look for human-shaped figures or any other type of activity, since we had just heard something move in that space.
Alright, Ames, you ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's a little bit scary in here. Also, yeah, no light at all. So that's cool.
You enjoy that then. Good luck with that. Thank you. If you're there. If you are there, can you go into this cell here and talk to the lady in there?
Okay, that was weird.
What?
I only just got the spirit box set up, but it was like just acting all funny. And I'm just making note of that because my camera acted weird as well.
I think I've actually locked Amy in there too. I don't think she can open the door. She ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
Alright, if there's anyone in this jail, I want you to go into the cell here behind me and I want you to talk to the lady that's sitting on the bed in there. Tell me your name.
In your dreams.
Pretty good. Come on. We're here to talk to you. Can you give me your name? Who am I talking with right now?
You.
No, your name. I want to know your name. Or can you tell me where you are?
Her.
Her name's Amy and my name's Jared. What's your name?
Good.
So guys, we also have a ghost tube SLS camera set up in the front room that's now been converted into sort of like a bar seating area. Because that's where we heard that thing on the table move. Or what?
Not this time.
Are you not going to do it again for me? What's not this time? You're not going to talk to us?
Yes.
You are going to talk to us. What do you want to talk about? How many people am I talking with? Are you in the cell with her?
Look.
Where do you want me to look? I'm looking. What am I looking for?
Her.
I know where she is. She's in the condemned cell. Are you in there with her?
Bite.
Bite. Don't bite her. Maybe just tap her or touch her or something.
Her.
Yes, her. Amy in the cell there. What do you think about her being in there?
Heartbeat.
Heartbeat? Can you knock on the door for me?
It was here that our Ghost Tube SLS camera would document something incredibly interesting in the tavern area, at the opposite end of the hallway to where we were. Here, a figure is seen appearing across multiple frames. To me, this is rather compelling, as this was the only time a figure was documented in that area during the entire session. And since our camera was stationary, this leads me to believe that this was unlikely a false positive being mapped. What is even more compelling is that this wouldn't be the only piece of evidence documented in this room during this session.
Blood.
What happened to you? Were you hurt?
Cut.
You were cut? Who cut you? Who cut you? Who did it? Who did it?
You're a dog.
Dog is prison slang today, but I don't know if it was back then. I'm not a dog. You're a dog. Actually, that's a bit disrespectful, isn't it? Why are you calling me a dog for?
Filth.
Do you not like her being in there with you? If not, you're welcome to come out here with me. Maybe you can move something in this hallway to let me know that you're in here with me.
You know.
This is the moment we captured a second figure on the Ghost Tube SLS camera set up in the tavern area, which is where former cells existed. This figure is in an entirely different area to the first we captured, and similarly was not documented consistently throughout the footage, meaning it was not a false positive. Just as the first figure does, it appears across multiple frames before disappearing completely. This meant that the app's algorithm detected two human-shaped figures in this space during the session. Could this capture truly have been paranormal? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.
Why were you in the condemned cell?
Stab.
Did you stab somebody? Who did you stab? Who did you stab?
Animals.
Oh my god, that's actually pretty relevant. I don't know about stabbing, but you could certainly get hanged for stealing sheep. Was it a sheep? What sort of animal was it that you were stabbing?
Tonight.
What's going to happen tonight?
Blood.
It's the second time she said that. Is your
Blood.
name on this sign?
Blood.
Why do you keep saying blood? That's so weird to keep saying blood. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Quiet.
Am I talking too loud for you? Hearing noises down the far end here.
Go.
You want me to go towards the noises?
Slaughter.
Is that what happened here? Is that what happened to you?
I think I just heard a kid sort of like screaming.
That is so weird. I swear we were talking to a kid earlier on Ghost Tube as well. How old are you?
Get me out.
Do you want me to get the keys? How can I help you? What do you want me to do?
Lord.
hanging. Someone came back to life after being hanged. I can't think of anything worse than being hanged twice. I'm going for a walk down here. Am I getting closer towards you?
I'm choking there.
You're choking. Why are you choking? Is this...
Just heard a kid again. It doesn't sound nice.
How did you die? What was your punishment?
Fluid? Girl.
Are you a boy or a girl? Male or female?
Me.
Yeah, you.
Vermin.
I'm going to go into this next cell. Is there anyone in this next cell? The debtor's cell? Is there anybody in there?
Look.
Alright, I'm looking. What am I looking for?
Blood.
Blood. There's no blood in here.
Again.
There's no blood in here. There's chains.
Meat hands.
I mean, this mannequin's got hands, I suppose. Nice to meet you. What hands?
But listen.
I'm listening. Do you want me to let her out of the cell?
Don't
How do you feel about me opening this door?
hit me.
I'm not going to hit you.
Hurry.
I thought I'd come in and get you because you were getting violent, hit me and then hurry, and it seemed like someone wanted me to come get you out maybe? I don't know.
That was a lady. That was a lady. Crypt Keepers, apparently that Estes was super interesting. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a like on this video, also a comment, that helps me a lot. We are about to go full lights out though. So I've got one camera that's set up just to monitor the hallway. We've got the REM pod and the cat ball still out. Jared's gonna follow me around while we do a Ghost Tube Vox session, and I just wanna run the app and see if any voices come through, anything of relevance, particularly in one area where we got a response earlier that Jared and I didn't notice in the moment. That was actually quite relevant to where we were at the time. I'm recording and I'm on mute.
You're on night vision now.
That was on mute and it just spoke. And
What did it say?
I thought it said
Night vision now. Night vision now.
Alright, Jared, do not kick the cat balls. Alright. Now, my name is Amy. This guy here is Jared. I have to say thank you if you've already been doing things for us. If you've been trying to talk to us, we'd love to know your name and love to know a bit more about you, or I mean, if you can open or close one of these doors for us, move something, kick one of these balls, they're really annoying, kick them out the way. Go towards that red light down there. Any of that shows me that you're here. I heard pity.
Pity.
And then I thought I heard this room.
This one?
Well, this is the room I'm heading towards. This is what they call the murder room, just because they dissected the murderers in there. And earlier, Jared and I went through and we were asking for responses on our other GhostTube app. And we didn't know because I had the volume down on the phone, but it said hurting, which I guess is relevant to this entire place. Very poor, torturous conditions here. A lot of people died in some of the worst ways imaginable. And then, yeah, if you were a murderer, you hurt people, you're dissected in here. And I guess that just adds to hurt, doesn't it? We're coming in, I hope that's okay.
Again?
Again? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard again.
Yeah, we're back again. Again, my name is Amy, this is Jared. Is there anything we can do to help you? I'm sorry if there's someone around who is hurting. It sounds like from that voice then that you might be in pain. I'm so sorry. Did you want to talk about it or no?
How about telling us your name or telling us a bit about yourself?
Who, sorry?
30.
30.
30. Is that how many people are here? Can you confirm that for me? I guess not just the past of this room, but the contents of it. Like if you look behind Jared, there's some actual torture objects on display. Old coins. It's just, who knows, maybe they could have attachments as well.
Promise. Reclaim.
I need to stand so I'm not looking at the light. That sounded like
That sounded like a child. I thought I heard a child's voice come through just then.
I was hearing kids almost like screaming and crying on the Estes.
Might like just kneel down. Is that alright?
Yeah.
Can you tell me your name? Who am I speaking with?
Up your toe.
My toes?
Up your toes?
Up your toes? What about my toes?
Are you playing a game with us?
What are children doing in a place like this?
Again, doesn't it sound painful?
Mm-hmm. Are you in pain? Can you tell us what you're feeling? I'm just hearing voices out here.
Voices as well.
That was children's voices.
So,
Shit.
Here, we felt as though we heard children's voices come from outside of the room we were standing in. The replay of the camera's audio in the room with us only just captured this sound, yet the audio in the camera left monitoring the hallway captured this sound quite clearly, and it almost sounds as if someone is talking about a master, though I'm not sure if this would fit into the terminology which might have been used during the jail's operational years.
I'm just hearing voices.
Alright guys, so we just heard what we thought sounded like kids' voices after we're in this murderer cell. I don't know if it's actual living people, because we are like in a prison underground under a building. I didn't think there was people up there though, is the weird thing. So I don't know, it's really weird.
I feel like those voices I heard were really, really clear. If that was someone upstairs, you'd think it would be muffled or something. Like, it sounded like it came from out here. It was really, really weird.
True.
I don't know what it's going to sound like on the mic, but it sounded like clear voices, like giggling or talking or something in here.
2 kids or something.
Yeah, 2 kids. Are you still here with us now? Can you tell us which of these cells you'd like us to go to next? We're trying to follow you. Or make that sound again. T?
T.
How about I'm going to walk up to each cell door and you're going to tell me when I get to the door that you want me to go into. We'll start with this one. This one. This one. This one. I'm going to skip this one because it's the toilet now. Whoops.
Well, another catball casualty.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus.
This one.
fear.
Fear?
Fear. Do you want me to go into this? This one? This cell? for the night. We're gonna be... Ooh, another cat ball. I'm just gonna put this down here so I can't trip over it. What about this one down here?
I can see him. I can see him.
Who can you see? Are you talking about me?
The girl.
The girl.
Amy?
When they come back.
To come back.
You want me to come back?
You want Amy to come back? Which cell do you want Amy to go to?
Not for everyone.
Not for everyone. Just for me.
Just for Amy. Which cell? You just got to tell me which way to go. I'll send Amy in there.
I heard a bang. That way then?
We're going to follow the noises. Is that what you want us to do? What about this cell here? The Debtors cell.
I'm going to step inside. I hope that's okay. I heard people smell flowers in here.
That was like
A lady singing. Would you like me to sing to you? Do you want me to sing? Can you give me a sign?
I'm hearing noises out there.
You heard like shuffling or something?
Yeah. Hearing it again. Just hang on a sec. Hearing it again.
Can you slam one of the doors? Anyone? I heard once you made this chain next to me move. Can you do that again?
You are you.
Is there a man or a lady here? Is there a man or a lady here?
No, I think.
Maybe try white noise, Ames.
I've just put on some noise. I don't know if that helps you. Can you give me a sign to let me know? Thank you. Can we have your name?
Hi.
Hi.
Let me need help as well.
How long were you in this cell?
Being held.
Being held
One of
here.
the most important.
I definitely heard being held. Okay, so if you're being held here, can you tell me why?
Money.
Money.
Money. We're in the Debtors cell.
We are in the debtors cell. So, prisons back in the day, guys, the people that ran the prisons sort of rented the space, and then people who were imprisoned had to pay them money, so they were literally in debt for being imprisoned. And they would even upsell them certain things like more straw for your bed, or alcohol even, or even when they were being released, they had to pay for decuffing, things like that. So money is kind of interesting. How much were you in debt for? If you tell me how much you're in debt, I'll pay your debt for you.
Yeah.
Yes?
Great.
That'd be great. Tell us how much you owe.
What would the money have been back then, like shillings or something?
Yeah, quid. I don't know.
Lemons.
Lemon.
Lemons. That's weird. We got that the other night. How much are you in debt? I'll pay it. Alright, condemned, we're coming in. If there's someone still here, can we have your name, please? My name's Amy, this is Jared.
95.
95? Maybe that's what they owed. Is that shillings, pounds, quid? I'm hearing noises out here. Who's making these noises? I'm hearing noises out here. Come on, we're friends now. Can I have your name? What?
Intro shot.
You, man.
He wanted less.
I keep hearing bangs and stuff. Do you?
I do. It's hard to tell if it's going to be contaminated from outside or not.
At this point in the night, we decided to try something slightly different. We'd already heard some noises and had good results through both the Estes and GhostTube Vox, so we thought we'd scan the environment using GhostTube SLS.
Alright guys, so we're going to do a GhostTube SLS session. I've got GhostTube SLS set up on this rig here, but I'm actually using the Lidar filter. So what you can see on the screen here is the 3D mapping of the environment using the infrared Lidar sensor. So it's pretty high-tech stuff. Lidar's available on iPhone models, iPhone X and later. But what this device will do, as you guys will know, is detect human-shaped figures. But it is cool because you can actually see the 3D depth mapping when I'm using this mode. This is the room earlier where we felt like we had things move on the table. So you can see the tables mapping here on the Lidar depth map here. Let me just go into this room.
Do you want to film near me? Because my neck just got super cold.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go, so you can see Amy on camera. Give us a wave, Ames.
You might be able to see the lights pulsating into my camera as well. That's the infrared light grid it's emitting.
Actually, your face looks weird too.
Thanks.
Is anybody here? Maybe you can stand in front of this device I'm holding. Might be able to see you here. Whoa. On the depth map, this tunnel just looks really creepy. So this is the tunnel here where Richard, our guide, said that he saw a figure walk through.
Can you show yourself to us?
So guys, I'm pointing it at this mannequin. It did just detect a figure. That's completely normal. It's false positive caused by something that's the shape of a person. So we can safely disregard that. Oh, I'm getting a figure here. Just down the end here by the axe. Did you see that?
I didn't see it, no.
You didn't see it? Well,
the fact is, oh, I just sent it again.
it's standing on that table.
Can you go towards the red light, please?
I forgot we left the friend pod there. This table here, what's this table called?
I actually think it's where they dissected bodies. I don't know if it's original, but...
So guys, this table you can see here on the Lidar scanner, this is one of the dissecting tables where they would have dissected the bodies of the murderers. That is so weird that we've got a figure on that then. And it's not like it's like something on the wall because it's not triggering now. They've got a noose here too. That was really weird.
That was weird. If there's somebody here and you can hear my voice, can you make a loud noise for us?
Can you come up to this device on this table here? That'll make a loud noise. Right in these cells. So there's somebody in here with us earlier. Can you show yourself? Can you try to show yourself?
The old Derby Jail is an amazing piece of history, well looked after and preserved by someone who is truly passionate and excited about its paranormal presences. I personally left feeling like we'd only just scratched the surface, and although this particular location may not compare in size to other jails we have investigated before, it truly provided us with many interesting results and responses. From the figures we had captured on SLS, to the responses which came through our devices, and even the sudden appearance of phantom smells. This was truly an interesting investigation. If you have watched to this point in the video, please make sure to hit subscribe and turn on all notifications for my channel. As we have more paranormal investigations coming up, starting next week with an amazingly beautiful but extremely haunted castle in the middle of the countryside in Wales. You won't want to miss our next episode, where we take on Margam Castle.
Order in the jail. Anyway guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. We have had so much fun here. This is a really cool little spot. And I know it's a smaller location than we have been doing recently, but honestly it's been nice for Jared and I because we've tackled all these huge prisons and it's sometimes very difficult to make our way through them. This one is a nice size, has so many stories, and I really think that we've had some experiences tonight that definitely could be paranormal and right from the get-go. So I've loved it here. And I definitely recommend visiting as well. Like, I'm obsessed with the doors. I did a TikTok on the graffiti on the doors and I've taken so many photos. I love it. It's so cool. But I do hope that you guys have enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. That really helps out Jared and I. If you want to do any more reading on it, head to AmysCrypt.com. That's where I post blogs on all the haunted places that I visit. If you want to follow us on social media, look for @AmysCrypt on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And I post bonus content on my YouTube and my YouTube members and my Patreon, which are linked below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.